Hey graduates, wagwan wagwan. How is everybody doing? Yes, how is everybody doing? We're gonna have a different kind of life tonight. Tomorrow may I come blaze up some fire upon something else, but tonight I just want to take it easy and talk to my graduates. Because ever so often we break things up over here and have different types of discussion. But you see, tonight's discussion, me not in a day, me wanna talk thing. Tonight is not just me alone going to talk. I need people to join the live because we're going to have a discussion because I've been observing the mindset of a lot of Black women, particularly Jamaican women, that come on social media and they body shame people and they insult people, and it's always about the most petty things. And I really and truly think that we have a mentality that need to fix up. You understand? We have a mentality that need to fix up, and we need to address it because I really and truly think that on a whole, Black women don't love themselves. And I know that sounds very harsh, but is what I am seeing out there on social media that's making me think this way. That you have some Black women that really and truly struggle with self love. And because they struggle with self love, they basically project that hatred of themselves on other women and use it as a form of insult and slander. So, wait there. And what happened here? So, sorry guys, me just see something. So Mr. Vegas has apologized to Dr. Dayton Campbell. Me feel laugh. Me just put one laughing emoji on him page. Mr. Vegas, say you're coward though. Dayton Campbell said that he was going to be suing him for defamation. So I guess he really and truly has made the steps. And the first step is always a warning, which requires an apology that is public. So, Mr. Vegas, I run for the swings. I run out here so now and say, I would like to apologize publicly to Dr. Dayton Campbell for any unflattering remarks I may have made about him at any time. I confirm that I do not have any information or facts about any improper behavior or activity regarding Mr. Campbell. Therefore, I apologize for any such allegations that may have been made. Ross. No, sir. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Anyway, let me go back to my discussion there. Hi, Pottinger Naturals. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jenny Tom. Hi, Nifty friends. Walk on, walk on. We're going to talk about something. So, me notice say, you have, we have as Black women a desire to mimic the beauty that is portrayed in Western society. We like to consider ourselves beautiful if our hair is long and straight. And it have to down our back or down our bottom. We have to have this one wolipa glue pa we head for stick on here. One wolipa eyelash where go way out there so. We have to do all sort of things to us as Black women that other races of women do in the minimum and usually on very special occasions. And if a woman does not portray that kind of look, they are considered by a certain mindset, because I'm not going to say all Black women think like this. They are considered by a certain mindset to be less than beautiful. You understand? I've heard Black women refer to other women as unkempt, dirty, um, in need of grooming and all of that when they do not dress or wear westernized ideals of beauty. So in other words, if you know where the wig them, and you know having the human hair, and you know bleach out your skin, and you know wear a ton of makeup in order for your beauty to show, because you don't consider yourself beautiful without it. Now, I think that Black women generally have got a deep insecurity about their physical appearance. And it is the rare Black woman who is able to accept their beauty in its natural form. And in fact, it's a very special thing. Now, me want to know if we are doing this because this is what Black men desire, or if we are doing this because we really and truly hate ourselves as Black women. And I would really and truly like for my graduates to join in on the conversation, because me, I try understand it. Bro Shaka, big up yourself. Hence the words white and pretty, never black and pretty, never. Even when we're growing up as children, you hear the mother them when them a comb them daughters here. I refer to them daughters here as kaya, as bumbo brush, tough here. You hear hard. You understand? And the your head back fever, pepper gray, and all these kind of things, and it affects how we consider what we consider to be beautiful as we grow up. So when we see here that is not 4C, because 4C are the real tightly coiled afro here, and we see the curls more relaxed. Um, we consider that to be pretty here. You understand? I do not understand how it is that we are aware of all of those things, yet we are incapable of unraveling that mindset and stopping women from thinking this of themselves. Like me personally, you see when me put on a wig, yes, you're pretty fair, black girl, all them kind of something there. You see when me wear wig, me feel uncomfortable. I am not going to lie. I feel awkward and uncomfortable. For one thing, I cannot access my scalp and it feel like me I'm mad. I am a girl, I like to put my hands through my hair and I like to feel my scalp. I like my scalp to breathe. And to me, wearing a wig, which is like a hair hat, suffocates the scalp. Yes, does not allow my scalp to breathe. And when you have to, I know they have glueless wig now, but when you have to apply glue and then something to your hair, it feels as though I am pasting on chemicals on my natural skin. I genuinely do not like it. And it doesn't matter to me how cute it look. Believe me, if I put it on in the morning, it'll come off by the night. Or if me put it on for a few hours, me not sleep in the night, it'll come off. You understand? Same for when I cream my hair. Now, I am natural 90% of the time, but then there are times when I'll relax my hair. And I'll do it because I feel like I can't bother with the whole heap of work. And my natural hair is 4C and it is naturally thick. And I have a lot of hair on my head, but it's thick. It is hard work. If I have to go to school or if I have to go to do something, I don't want to have to be spending too much time on my hair. So I wear my hair in protective styles all the time. I wear my hair in braids, and now I have my hair in dreadlocks, and I don't think I plan to stop with the dreadlocks. I plan to keep latching my own hair until the whole of my own hair grows into dreadlocks, because I cannot be bothered with all of the fussing. But what I don't have a problem with a woman who decides that yes, I prefer wigs. I like wearing wigs. I like cream my hair. I like my hair straight. Okay. We're going to go into the discussion about why you like that, right? But what I have a problem with is when women who present themselves this way and a woman chooses to present herself in her natural beauty form, they see that as ugly. That shows me that on a mentality very sick. Something wrong with you. Because how can you be ugly for what grows out of your head naturally? This is what I don't understand. How can you be ugly for what God made you to look like? If you don't put on your eyelash, if you no bleach your skin, if you no pluck out your eyebrow and put on sitting by your eyebrow, you are considered to be ugly by women like this. It shows that they were not raised with a strong sense of identity. In fact, they were raised to self loathe, they were raised to hate themselves. And because they were raised to hate themselves in their natural form, they have to adapt a Eurocentric sense of beauty in order to feel good about themselves. And if you strip them of all those things and reduce them back to their natural form, they do not consider themselves royal. So their projection of how they don't like what black women look like in their natural form, they use it as an insult when really it is a inward look. It's like a looking glass into who they are and what they think of themselves. When you see a big woman come out here and cannot take off her wig, and I'm not talking about for medical purposes, because there are women who have got alopecia, um, when the traction is too tight and they end up losing all their hair because of previous protective styles that were not done properly. That is a different cup of tea. Even cancer can result in a woman having to wear wigs, right? And that is a different thing. I won't even touch on that because a woman will do those things when they are ill in order to preserve what they consider to be beauty. And it don't have to be long hair, then put on either. Sometimes it's a little short wig, right? I will go on, yes, so then me did do you something, sis, cause this is the third time I hear you, and I know. You know what she does, bro Shaka? Sometimes she come on and she greets and then she fling on the live on the TV and she take off the comments so she's not seen. And I when we start ball out, say somebody forget black, then Dan fly on. You understand? So she'll be listening and stuff, but she sometimes not looking at the comments unless an alert is raised. So many things say you do or anything. Or is it that orange are not allowed to mix with the comments? No man. That not stay so. A lot of them have no choice now. Some have destroyed their own hair with the glue. Exactly. And this is the thing. We destroy ourselves in an effort to be beautiful, but to whom? Because I want to them woman here where come out and cuss people and talk about what people look and talk about how them wouldn't even put on a good hair and all of that. Them manless, no man no want them. No man no want them none tall. Them manless. So them not doing it for man. Or if them are doing it for man, the man them still not look. Now I had a discussion with somebody over on TikTok. And the discussion we were having, the men were basically saying that actually we prefer women natural. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of black men are going to white or mixed race women. Because what they see in the day is not what they see at night. Yeah, I would if them a come out and I say it. Them I say, but you go out with this girl, she's all dolled up, she's got on the perfect hair and the perfect makeup and everything. And when them take a stop, and the girl wash off all of that, take off the lashes, draw off the wig. Well, under the wig is in such a terrible condition, right? And she literally just cannot look the bomb like that again until she put on back those things. She cover up all the spots on her skin with the foundation. She fling on back the lashes and draw on the eyebrow. Now, if you are this type of woman that you have to do this in order to be beautiful, and you are claiming that you are looking after yourself, you're not. You're not. Real beauty is from within, yes, but we're talking about the superficial element today, right? We're talking about the outside looks today. And I have come to the conclusion that a lot of us black women do not love ourselves. We don't. And it comes from something as simple as creaming out our hair. When we manipulate our hair from its natural, beautiful state, instead of investing time to actually care for our natural hair and learn. Listen, I have one African friend And her daughter, she cream fair here, but her daughter has 4C here, which is the most difficult to manage. And that girl has made her own hair moisture treatment. She used shea butter, rice water, rosemary, and clove. Some kind of spray like that. And I think it's almond oil. And she blend that up and she put that in her daughter here. If you ever see the daughter here now, I'm gonna tell you, so the daughter here, they down to her back, big plaits, beautiful head of hair. Because she said her mother never invested in her hair, which is why she end up hating her hair so much that she cream it and it pick out. And now all she have to do in order to look beautiful is to wear her wigs. You understand? And it is not something she's proud about because she regrets it. But I keep telling her, take the wig off and allow your scalp to repair. Massage your scalp and so on and so forth. And cut your hair off. Cut it right off. Bring it down to the scalp and let it regrow. She's afraid to do that. Her reason now, because she have a man, is that her man don't like short hair. And she doesn't want to turn the man off. So I said, so him would I rather you have this fake thing by your hair where him can hold on and drag when you do the things them. You understand? And she said him would I rather she wear it than have no hair on her head at all. Because he cannot deal with that. He says it's manly. So some men do put aesthetics on women that are not appropriate for black women to actually claim their own natural beauty. And give the impression that in order for her to be beautiful to him, she has to look a certain way. I've heard men say they get a shock when they wake in the morning. They're not true. My empress did have natural dreads all the way down to her backside, and she decided to cut the whole of it off and bald the head. And me no love her no less. And what she feel comfortable with. What a beautiful attitude. Me like that. Let me just pin that. Right? It's a beautiful attitude. But what I want to understand is why is it that some black women cannot embrace their natural selves? Why is it that some women feel that the only way they can step out into the world is to put on European hair? Let me ask you a question. Only nothing say why to man laugh off uno? I'm being very harsh tonight. Only don't think say white women laugh at you and say, but see, look upon them after put on here like us in order to be beautiful. Right? If you want to join the conversation, I am dropping the link in the comments. Please to click that link and then feel free to come up and say your two piece and join. Right? Why is it that some women feel that the idea of grooming is to lay a wig and not to rock your own natural hair? And if you're going to wear your natural hair, you feel like you have to have it creamed or straightened for it to be considered beautiful. It's a simple answer. We've been taught that white people's standards of beauty, European standards of beauty, is the acceptable standard of beauty. We've been taught that the natural black woman standard of beauty is ugly. And there is no other way about it. So when you see some black men only interested in going after white women because what them see is what them get, many of us are to blame because we chase them away. When you see a black woman who embraces her beauty, her natural beauty, you know how many white men find her more attractive than the average black man who sees it as intimidating more than anything else. Hmm. Better than not ready for that conversation. A whole lot of black women feel like they have to do up themselves in order to get looked at because they feel they're competing with white women's standards of beauty. I remember when I was in my undergraduate years and my part-time job when I was in my second year at uni in London. I was a silver service waitress. We used to go to some of the biggest events um in the UK. We did Royal Ascot. We used to go to what you call it their Tate Gallery whenever they had events there, exhibitions and so on. We did the Chelsea Flower Show. I mean, proper posh events. That organization has closed down that I used to work for. They were called Esprit and Decorum. And myself and about two other black girls were the only black females in the entire cohort of waitresses that were hired. I used to wear my hair in cornrows at the front and I used to put in sewing at the back, but it was like the little curly, the little curly drop curl, curly sew look at the back. Me have a picture of myself like that in my living room right now. So it looked like an African hairstyle, but it had a little body to it, but me hair did natural underneath it. And my other two comrades, they used to wear their hair with sewing completely. Cause them time there wasn't no lace wig time. So when them do that now, and all of us go on the different jobs and stuff, the whole of the white man them used to rush me. Oh my God, African princess, this, that, chocolate queen, this. They used to say those things. White men, Englishmen. Yeah. And the other girls would not necessarily get that reaction. Them used to start get jealous. White girls used to be so jealous because my hair was cornrowed and whatever, and for them hair just straight. And I remember one time a bunch of them round me, and them start touch up me here, but it was very antagonistic, full of jealousy and envy. So till I got fed up, I must straighten me here for go work the next week because I'm just like too much attention. I straighten me here. That was me taking off my crown, right? This so you understand? Because I didn't want the attention. And when I did that, it was like I was just a normal waitress like everybody else, blending with everybody else. Didn't stand out, didn't look exotic, right? So many times when black women wear their hair in its natural form, you are not, in fact, on the same level as a white woman with her straight hair. You are considered to be far more exotic and far more appealing and interesting. So you'll find that white guys will approach you 9 times out of 10 faster than if your hair have been weave and extension and straighten. Remember me tell you that. That is a fact. If you notice, when you see white men with black women, as some of the most Amazonian, straight out of African looking black woman they like. Eh? You don't notice that and me one notice it? Is it me one that notice it? Karen says, I wear my natural hair. My husband prefers natural beauty. The most I might do is get a silk press. I don't even wear nails. And I have stopped wearing nails because I used to wear nails a lot last year. And this year, I say, I now wear no lip nails. At time, me I waste a sit down and put on them something. And every time one need for repair, me have to go get it fixed. And unnecessary money, me say, no, me not doing it. Them can't style them hair like black woman. No, they cannot. And that's what brings up that jealousy. To be fair, white women are wearing a lot of extensions as they dye their hair often. Most of those celebrities wear extensions. Now, Pottinger Naturals, I'm glad you said that. Because if you notice when a white woman puts in extensions, do you see her putting in afro extensions? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Pottinger Naturals, join the live now. I want to hear you talk. Join the live, man. and join the conversation. Join the live. The link is right there. I don't know if it is pinned in the comments, right? But join the live and let us have a conversation about it. Because when you see a white woman wear extensions, do you see her putting in Afro extensions? Is the question. She will put in extensions, yes, but the extensions that she put in is her own natural hair and how it look. Her own natural hair and how it look, it match. It's not a completely different texture. It's not a completely different look. A fair own hair texture. Them put in. You understand? So hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Let me pin this. There we go. Pinned at the top. Right? So at the end of the day, when they put in extensions to give their hair body, or even if they put in the tape, because some of them put in the little individual hair, they are putting in hair that is natural to them, that looks natural to them and is their natural texture. When you see us put in extensions, we have to do a lot of manipulation to our hair first before we put in them something there, right? That will never happen. Can you imagine them a put in Afro hair? They won't do it. I must say one girl me see, one lady me see do something like that, people. And when she do the thing like that, everybody start cuss her. The one who claims that she wants to exist as black. We cannot remember her name if anybody else remember her name. But what I want to teach my graduates today is this. We see if you are with somebody and you can't take off your wig until the light turns off, and then you take off the wig or you appear and you have to wake up before then wake up and go put on the wig, that person does not know who you truly are. In addition to that, that person don't love you properly for you to feel the need to have to do that. Sometimes it's self-inflicted, in that you have that expectation of beauty on yourself because you've been damaged in terms of your identity being damaged from you were a child. But some men do also portray the things that they were taught from their very own mothers and sisters. That beauty is supposed to look Western and European. You understand? If you cannot love your natural self and keep your natural self, learn to maintain and enhance your natural self, you have lost your identity as a black woman. May I tell you that? And I'd like somebody to challenge it. I'd like somebody to challenge it. Feel free to challenge it and join the live. Oh, not coming like unafraid for talk. They don't love themselves. So true, Kay. Love this discussion. Yeah, sometimes we have to break away from the other regular things because not every day other people business day. Sometimes we have to have discussions, and people who are unfamiliar with my channel don't know that I sometimes do this. I divert, but don't think seminar come back to a whole banger. But today is a day that I felt like talking about it because as I said, I started the discussion over on TikTok. You understand? Another irony is that the texture of our afros intimidates them. Intimidates who? Lala intimidates who? Intimidates white women or other black women. Be specific for me, please. The texture of our afros intimidate them. I know that when I met I'm going to tell you, when I met my husband was not a Rasta when I met my husband. My husband was a man with a huge afro. And that was one of the reasons why I fell for this guy because me love big hair. He had, when I tell you that this guy's hair was just a magnificent mane, huge afro, and him did look like somebody that I had a crush on from I was a little girl. Maxwell, the singer. Yeah, you know how Maxwell, the singer, look with the afro on him head, same so. So when I saw that hair, I was like, oh my God, I just want to put my hand in it, right? Because it was beautiful to me. Beautiful to me. Love Afro so much. And because my 4C hair, it thick and it plenty, but it made I have to stretch my hair for my hair to look like that. I'd have to blow out my hair for my hair to get to its proper length. Shrinkage is real when you have 4C hair. So to me, I always admire hair that literally just stay like that. You understand? Now, does that mean that I thought my hair was ugly as a little girl? Absolutely, I never liked my hair. Because my mother used to say me hair tough. And my mother used to say me hair a kaya. You understand? So any opportunity I had to do something with my hair, I was for it. I was for if it wasn't flinging it in braids, it was creaming my hair and damaging it a million times. Every minute make your hair cream, it damage, it broke out, it cut, it grow back. It was just an absolute roller coaster nightmare because there was never a hairdresser who knew how to handle my hair properly. And my mother was not into doing hair at all. As a woman, I grew to love my natural hair. When I met my husband, my hair did cut short like a boy. Can you believe that? I had a short afro. You hear me? And he had this big, massive mane of hair. And he still considered me beautiful without extensions, without wig, without any of them something there in my natural form. I'm a natural woman. I don't own not one wig. I will only put on nails. Let me put this here. So I will only put on nails if I'm going to a wedding, etc. I used to perm my hair, but stopped during COVID and never did it again. Wash, blow out, and go. Okay. And that is okay. Because even blowing out your hair is still natural. You have to be careful of heat damage. But silk pressing and stuff can be good for manipulation. You want a different kind of hairstyle and so on. And it doesn't mean that a black woman cannot enjoy versatility with their natural hair. You can enjoy versatility with your natural hair. Look at some of those tribes that are in East Africa. Those women, how they braid their hair really, really fine, and then them put in all kind of rice water in it to make it grow, and then them do all kind of design with them hair. Look at even the Ethiopians and how they do their hair. Okay, their hair quality might be different, but they still do versatile hairstyles. It's not always left in a kinky puff. Sometimes it's done in all kinds of curls and stuff, but it's still the natural hair. It's still the natural hair. And I am looking around and seeing so many of the present generation as women. All they're doing is rocking these 360 weeks every day, every single day. Them have on a wig on their head, a paste down and a glue down. And I must say, Ivani one, Missy brave enough for come out here without that, you know. Because you know, say Ivani do all kind of sitting with it on a little short hair. It no long, but in do all sort of sitting. And even she had damaged her hair by putting in all those chemicals. But at least she don't kill it with the constant wigs and stuff like that. Right? And then when you look at the hairline of women who live in wigs, them hairline gone. Them hairline gone. Completely gone. You are looking at traction alopecia as like it's coming like is a pandemic amongst black women who have deteriorated their own natural beauty so much that it cannot come back. Wigs, 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 wigs every day. And then we have another issue of black women spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds, sometimes up to thousands. Hmm? Sometimes up to thousands of pounds on these things and don't have a single asset to their name. As though when then the week then can sell and pay off any debts what in them life what or pay for their funeral. Investing so much stupid money in hair that don't grow out of your head. When other races of women see that, them laugh. Them say, look at these fools. Hmm? Doing the most to look like us. That is what them saying. Doing the most to look like us. So PLJ Happy says, HGK, unfortunately, within our family, we are taught to hate our hair. In time, with knowledge, we have developed self-love for how God made us. But it's not across the board, PLJ. This is what me I try to say, right? It's not across the board. When you step out on social media streets and listen to the diatribe that come out of some black women's mouths, you just know that they are lost and broken souls who do not have a true identity of beauty. They don't know what being beautiful as a black woman is. And it's sickening because when you hear them project that self hate to other women and think that they are bullying those women, instead, they don't realize they're highlighting how empty they are with their values, how little they know about themselves to love themselves enough. That lack of self worth is destroying and defeating and will result in generations with lost identities who are not affirmed in their blackness, who will look to other races to rescue their self worth. This is how I do not want my children to grow. But you see, even so, this is one of the things that my oldest son has revealed to me, that he would love to have a black girlfriend. But every black woman that he comes across has got on all these fandangles upon them that him don't know what him getting. That is in his generation, we are talking the Gen Z them, right? Him don't know what the hell him getting. Because when him go and him date or him go with him friend them and all them something there, all I'm seeing is girl with one whole 10 pound a year on their head where enough of them wanna grow tights, right? Then guy lash dope, them have on one whole heap of 10 ton of cake and makeup. And he don't know what the hell he's getting. So it's like say him saying like him have to wait to see if him buck up on a girl that actually love who she is. Because him would have love to have a black girl, but that not go work. Whereas white girls that he has met, they don't have any issue with how they look. They don't have to do the most in order to be beautiful. And that's in his generation. Hmm? That is in his generation. Imagine you're going out and for you to go out, you have to go by 1 week in order to go out. And you not have no illness. Karen, all the way a Spain mine go find female, my love. Right now at the same day with him girl. Pan him half term holiday. All the way a Spain mine gone. Yes, son say I go Japan. Yes. Right? And it's disturbing because what that in essence does is it waters down the black race considerably. And yes, okay, we may create beautiful kids when we cohabit with other races. We know that. When you mix black and other races, the children tend to come out very, very beautiful. But I've had also discussions with mixed race or biracial children and biracial adults and young people. And one of the things they've always said is that this dichotomy, this having of two different races and cultures within them, sometimes results in conflicts, personal conflicts, where they don't really know what they are and who they are because their white side don't 100% accept them. They even encounter racism on some of their white side of the family. And then the black side is not seeing them as completely black. Whereas when they are raised, particularly by the black parents, they tend to swing mostly to the black side. But they have a yearning to know the white side. It results in all kinds of confusion. It really does. And you have to be very firm in order to raise biracial children that they are confident in who they are. A beautiful blend of multiple races and cultures. Our nigger here, let me see this. Let me see one interesting comment here. So let me see this comment here. Not a lot of black women think this way. Unfortunately, as a matter of fact, lots of black women and men are quite ignorant about their hair. And yes, we are. We have to educate ourselves as we go along. And it's interesting because I scroll through to try and find channels and stuff that talk about natural hair. I find a lot of that on YouTube. I don't find a lot of it on TikTok. Everybody I try lay a wig, and I'm just like, I so don't give a damn. I have seen a few people locking hair, so to me, that's like the easiest option that I can do because I lock my own husband's hair. I latch his hair as it grows out, so I can latch my own hair. You understand? But in terms of what we should be using in our hair to moisturize it and stuff and to help our own natural hair to grow, it's not that many people specialize in that nowadays. Everybody is talking about, oh, if you put on wig, then sitting there, what if you put in a wig to make your wig pretty. What about the hair growing out of your damn scalp? What about that? You understand? I'm sorry, but if it is that you have spent 99% of your time wearing a wig to the point where you have erased half of the hair on your head and your hairline is so thin, even if you look on Chrissy here right now, she's investing in regrowing it. But when you look on Chrissy hairline is in a terrible condition. It literally is going up halfway up her head, but it is now going back and repairing because she realized that she has completely damaged her own natural beauty by wearing this damn thing every day, right? And black women need to teach their sons to value black women. Let me see this. All these mixing causes confusion is rooted in BP self-hate. We have created our own issues. Yes. Yes. My younger son says he wants a black woman. He don't want a white woman. He wants a black woman when he gets older. Right? Um, and he will out till him find one that is appropriate. Right? That will love him and care for him in the right way. You understand? But and this is no offense to anybody who chooses to go for a different race. There's nothing wrong if this is what you choose to do. Because you've fallen in love with the person. But when you have people who specifically choose white men or men of other races purely in order to what you would call genetically modify your descendants in a way that is more aligned with Europeans, that is sick. I have literally heard from black women's mouths that dating an African or being with an African man is the worst thing that you can do because they're the bottom of the pile. That's a sick individual who has a deep sense of self-hatred and don't understand how powerful the Nubian race can be. You understand? And it disgusts me that there are women out there touting these mentalities as though they have got as simple as though they're not simps. You understand? How can you look at a race of people and consider them to be of lower quality purely because of the color of their skin and where they're from? If that isn't pathetic, I don't know what is. And in addition to that, to turn around and say, "Oh, lad, they're disgusting. You must go for a white man, an Englishman." Excuse my language, but you fuck up. You are fucked up. Because English men generally don't want you. Let me explain something to you that I experienced when I came to the UK. I was working, doing temping when I moved from London and came to where I'm living now. And when I moved here, I joined an agency so I could work in different offices and stuff like that while I was at uni. And because I've always worked throughout my university years, I've never been just a student. I mean, I'm lucky like my kids, my older son now, who can just do that. But when I was at uni and I was working in offices, I experienced different forms of racism, different forms. I remember when I listened to some. I was working at the Peugeot plant. Yes. and I think reception. I was on reception. And I overheard some girls talking. They were French because it's a French company, so we had French staff as well. But they were speaking in English, and they were like they would never date a black guy. I overheard the conversation. So I said, "Why not?" And they go, "All the black guys do is they give you brown babies and then they go. And then after you're left with the brown baby, no white guy wants you after that." Yeah, tea time, Trish. Okay. No white guy wants you after that. Hmm? So when you go with a black guy, you end up with a brown baby. And that once you have that brown baby, no white man now look upon you after that because them don't want to take on no brown baby as them child. And they don't want to know that a black man has been there. Worse if them things say a black man a man didn't go. And them feel like can't compete. You hear what me I say? So when you end up in a situation where no, you as a black woman have been with a white man, the white man breed you and gone. This is the worst kind of scenario because most white men, when they are with a black woman, them feel like them hit goal. I wonder if you know that. Because they consider our men to be such apex males. They are so intimidated by their very presence that for you to look at them and desire them and consider them to be handsome when they think that these men are beautifully and godly made mm, is a big compliment for them. That a black girl like them. Big compliment that. Right? And then if them don't go there so with you and left you and breed you with your mixed race child, you think say other white man are gonna sell you and go there so? You're gonna be like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Something's wrong with her. Why the hell would I go back there? Yeah, my other white guy over there dumped her and he had a black girl. Hell no, I'm not going there. Listen, there's all kind of problems. All kind of problems. You're more likely to get a black guy who go there afterwards and pick up the mixed race child. Um, I was just going to comment about Chrissy. I was shocked when I saw her hairline yesterday. Yeah, yeah. You know, um, let me go up here. So no, let me see what Lala said. We're ignorant about the beauty and power in our hair. We have been tricked to cover it with every other nation's hair. Note, other nations do not wear Afro type wigs. They would faint under ours. Let me tell you something. They don't wear it because if them wear it, them wearing it for party and cosplay. They don't wear it at all. They don't wear our hair. You understand? Them wear it for fun and for carnival or for some mimicking or whatever. But they wear their own hair, right? And I have heard about that our hair draws energy from the sun. And I've heard people talk about things like this. You understand? As children of the sun that we are, as Nubians that we are. Um, Ignorance of self is a curse. Our carbon skin is a gift from God, kissed by the sun. We have no idea how blessed we are. We need to study self. And that is the truth. It is the ignorance of our grandparents and older generations thinking. I can't stand their thinking. It is so horrible. Even in my own family, our grandparents and great grandparents favored light skin over dark skin. And they pass those kind of mindsets on to our mothers, aunts, and uncles who had to fight through the 70s to get rid of it. When it was the age of Aquarius, when everybody started waking up to self love, right? 60s, 70s. And they started to reject that and claim Pan Africanism. Everybody wanted to then rock their afro and be as dark as possible and stay out in the sun and wear them hoop earrings and whatever. And it was in fashion to be black and it was in fashion to be African. You understand? Everybody was talking about Marcus Messiah Garvey and all these kind of things. And then Rastafarianism started to sprout up, and it was all about going back to nature and going back to loving oneself, to the point where Rastafarianism was looked at as dirty. And you still hear that language in some of the ignorant fools today when they're looking at Rastas and calling them dirty, when they're some of the cleanest people under the earth. You would think, say, would I ever see a Rasta man take him dirty backside and sit on his kitchen counter? Ever? I mean, see some gal we are talking about, and them a sit down with them body crack, with them eat, with them sickening self. Rasta people are very clean. You understand? And have got high ideals when it comes to cleanliness. Very, very high ideals. You understand? You can't go on Rasta with no dirty levity. Hmm? All I see, gyal take them floor broom, and I take them broom and wipe them counter with it and all them sick shit. You understand? You know? And these are the types that will run out and talk about what is considered to be beautiful, has to be full of wigs and bleach out skin and 10 ton of makeup. Lost, lost souls, absolutely lost souls. And I can't communicate with anybody like that, you know. Remember me tell you. Um, what currency? What do you mean? You mean say me should I be with a Jamaican woman? Bro, Shaka, your woman not Jamaican. Is she Jamaican or not? Is she black or not? They used to call them black man meats. Lord Jesus. I think we do love ourselves, but we are not loved by others. Oh, that's a very interesting perspective. Why are you guys not coming up on the thing? I want you guys to come up and talk. And I just love hearing me talk, so when I cannot give my voice a rest and come up and join the conversation. I'd love to hear the other perspectives of other people. Join the conversation. It's like some me inviting if I come talk. I want afraid for come talk. Okay, here we go. Let me in, please. All right, hold on a minute. I want me to do this. Is somebody coming in here? Hold on, dear. Hold on there. Somebody is coming in. Let me see. All right. I will admit you. Now,
Can
okay,
you
you can
hear me?
come up now.
Can you hear me? I'm on
I'm gonna
everybody's
show you on the
platform.
camera and then we can show each other. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hold on there. Hold on. I'm going to show. Hold on. I'm show. Show.
Okay. So I'm on everybody's platform. I just jumped off of Vibes and
Okay, I
came
think you
over
might be
here.
muted. I can hear myself, but I can't hear you. Unless I need to listen to you somewhere else. Hold on there before you start talking. All right.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No.
Okay, I can listen to you now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? You Yeah, you okay, so PLJ Happy, you can hear me, but I don't think Head Teacher K can hear me. Head
Yes, I
Teacher
can
K,
hear
can
you.
you
Go ahead.
you can hear me? Yeah, so I was the one who wrote the comment about I'm on everybody's platform. This is shameful of me, but I think that I believe that black women there are a lot of black women that really love themselves. And when we hold ourselves to a high Missy, when we hold ourselves to a high esteem, it's a constant battle for us. We have to fight. So we have to fight with our own sisters, and especially being like Caribbean sisters, because I hardly come across any Caribbean, or most Caribbean women don't carry themselves like what I would call it at a lower level. Like they carry themselves with high esteem. So if it's like back in the days, we used to call them rebel girls. So if it's like a girl that's out there that's a rebel,
Yeah.
she's gonna be, she's gonna carry herself as at a high esteem. If it's a educated Jamaican woman, she's gonna carry herself at a high esteem. What I find with us as black women is we don't like each other, and because we don't like each other sometimes, depending, and we don't trust each other, it puts us in a minority. So then you have, so if we don't like each other as black women or as Caribbean women, what happens is that you'll find that the white women, they they jump on that, because oh, they can't even get along as black women, because white women try, they have a way of getting along with each other. They get along, they get along to get along, but we are not like that. And then when we fight with each other, we bring everybody else into it. So this is why we're not held at a high esteem. And what I'm finding is that there men, that our men don't love us the way we deserve to be loved. They don't treat us the way we deserve to be
Mm,
treated, but they'll do it with other races and other nationalities. So
that
for
is
instance,
true. That is true.
so so my uncle, I love my uncle to death. My uncle is married to a Haitian woman. So things that she would say or do to him, like in a family situation or a public atmosphere, he would never tolerate it from a Jamaican woman. You understand? Because you know,
Mm.
say you know, if you talk to me, so you understand what I'm saying? But
Yep.
with the Haitian wife, he'll say, "Well, she don't know what she's doing because culturally she from Haiti, but she know exactly what she's doing because she's a black woman and she's a Caribbean woman." So
Mm.
they make excuses for, they make excuses for for the others. Not to mention that our good black men, you know, they seem to like racially. Let's use racially ambiguous women then. So let's not
Yes.
go white.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go all the way to white. I'm gonna go to racially ambiguous. So it makes it difficult for us to figure out where we fit in this, because if we love ourselves and we take care of ourselves and we look the best that we can look every day,
Yeah.
it becomes a problem for everybody that we come in contact with. So
Mm.
I'm a plus size woman. Since 1990, I've been wearing a very short haircut. I'm a beautiful woman because I've had old white men say to me, "Oh my God, you're a beautiful woman." You know, and I've had, and daily I people will say to me, "You're so pretty." But I find that when I go around some of my people and I don't speak the way they expect me to speak and I don't behave the way they expect me to behave, I'm ostracized for that. I've had, you know, I've come in contact with people, like the other day I went to my doctor's office. This is just an example, guys. And the nurse practitioner that was seeing me, she looked chaka chaka. I'm like, she's Jamaican, but she have this wig
Yeah.
on her head and it looked like a piece of the wig was falling out the front, and the hair looked
Yeah.
like she never comb it. And then when I went into the office at first, she started giving me an attitude because we were talking about weight loss and all kinds of things. And, you know, and I said to her, "Yes, ma'am." And she was like, "Don't ma'am me." I said, "Oh, okay." She said, "You can't call me by my name. You can't call me Shawnette." And I was like, "Okay, Shawnette." And then, you know, I humbled myself a little bit more, and I didn't judge her by her appearance. And then she
Mm-hmm.
started to explain to me why she looked so chaka chaka. "Oh, you know, so me go to the gym this morning and and I'm thinking to myself, girl, I'm not judging you. I just want to get my doctor stuff taken care of and get out of here. Because your attitude towards me when I first came in, because my hair is neat, my uniform neat, you're a registered nurse, you're a nurse practitioner, and here it is that I'm a registered nurse. So
Mm.
and I've had years of experience. So the things that you can tell me, I probably already know. I'm just here to get my meds refilled and, you know, and be able to move on. So the long and short
So
of
do you
all of
think? Do you
Go
think,
ahead.
sorry to cut you, but do you think she automatically saw you as competition and straight away her back went up?
But
Uh,
I wasn't
'Cause there
competing
was,
with her because she holds a higher position than me as a registered nurse.
yeah, but she
Because
saw
she's a
you as a threat.
be-
She must
but
have
she's
seen
a
you as a
yeah,
threat.
but she's a nurse practitioner. You have a degree that
Yeah,
says that you're better than me. So why is it that you're making yourself feel less than me? And bro shaka me not fi in me my patwa come in and out. I've been in America since I was 8 years old. So you have to kind of see with me, sir. You have to kind of see
yeah, so
with me.
Brosha can get trouble, man. Brosha can behave
Yeah,
himself.
you know. So the thing is this: we as women, and when you meet a black woman that loves her sisters, because I love my sisters, as long as you treat
Yes,
me right, I'm going to treat you with the most respect. I'm going to try to make sure
yes,
that you're happy, that you're well put together. When I'm working in the field, they tend to want to give me every new nurse to train or to orient, because when they figure,
yeah,
when I'm finished with them, they can stand alone like a week later, and then they can use me as a fallback resource. I'm not, there's nothing that I would know, HTK, that you would need to know that I would hold back from you. And I find that with a lot of people, they'll have information that can make you a better person or help you
yes,
along the way too, and they'll hold it back.
yeah.
So if we don't love each
Exactly. Because
other,
even when we started with this discussion, and I was like, look at the women who are the ones who are saying, if you don't wear a wig, you know, look good. Notice that when they remove the wig, you will see that there is so much damage under there
yeah,
that they literally cannot go without it.
lit,
So why not invest time? All those hundreds and hundreds of dollars that we are spending on China products to beautify ourselves, why not invest that? Because I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with wearing a wig. You can switch it up if you want to, right? But when
yeah,
you're going to do so at the risk of destroying your natural self, your natural beauty, to the point where you now are dependent on a foreign object in order to feel good about yourself, that's when your identity has started to become eroded. So,
yes,
how do we reverse this so that we are not caught up on projecting a beauty that's not our own, but embracing our own beauty and only using this, as accessories? Because as you said, we really shouldn't be policing each other's hair. We already have shit to deal with, okay? And if a black woman wants to cream them hair, straighten them hair, wear a wig, do whatever, you should be free to do so because it's your hair on your head. But when you start to use that as a shield and then put down other women who don't do that because they don't need to, yes, that's when I have a problem with this. Let women embrace their natural selves, and then if they want to divert, they can divert. But don't let it become your only face of beauty to the point where you are dependent on it to survive because you've damaged yourself underneath. Why not invest in the knowledge of how to keep our own hair? Yeah, how to fix any kind of receding hairlines. Like I can recommend one thing, and that is Moroccan oil and almond oil and rosemary oil.
and the
Combine
castor
all
oil,
three,
yeah,
and castor oil. Combine all of that and massage your scalp every single night. Give your massage the front of your edges. If you can't do it with your own fingers, you can get the scalp massagers and rub that every night. Stimulate the blood flow under there to get your hair to start to come back to itself. You understand? Instead of just hiding it, covering it, putting this thing over your head, and it just keeps on with the traction and the
with
pulling, and you end up bald.
and the stocking caps too promote.
Yes.
Okay, so you have three layers on your head. You have the gel or the braids that are done, and then you put the stocking cap on, and then you put a wig on top of that. And if you live
Mhm.
in Florida or Jamaica, it's 80, 90 degrees. So underneath your wig is maybe about 104 degrees. So
Yeah.
you, because you have the heat bearing down on top of your head, and then you have the body heat coming from out of your head, because our body is supposed to let off heat. Part of our cooling system naturally is our through our head top. This is why they tell you
Yeah.
when you have the baby, you need to cover the baby's head for a certain amount of time, right? So now you have your hair wrapped up in this moisture, not getting any sunlight, not getting, and then your hair starts to
Yeah.
literally rotten, because you
Rotten.
have, yeah, because you have fungus that's growing, the fungus that you know that's growing, it might not be on your scalp, but it's in the hair from the moisture.
Yeah.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, it's not the beauty standards that we're holding ourselves to. You don't see anybody out there rocking a afro wig, really, hardly ever, unless they're
No.
trying to
No.
assimilate. So the thing is,
Yeah.
you're not, so you're identifying at this, at a different beauty standard that's not our own.
It's not authentic. And this is
It's
exactly the point. Because when people say, oh, well, white women wear extensions, yet they wear extensions, but of their own
to
hair,
assimilate. They, and they
you
do it too.
know.
If they like black men, they do it to attract that attention. Um,
Exactly.
so it's, and then you have, I don't know. I see a lot of women too, a lot of these young girls with their children on Instagram, and they're putting these things in their hair, and I'm like, that baby is
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful without any of all of that you're doing. Why are you doing
Mm-hmm.
that? But
Hmm.
it's it's a form of, you know what it is? We've been inundated with the idea that we shouldn't love ourselves as we are.
Yeah.
we have to we have to aspire to be something else because this might make us better, but you wind up
Yeah.
looking like Bozo the clown,
You
and
really end up looking stupid. It's the
you look
truth.
stupid.
And then they themselves, the Europeans whose idealized beauty we're mimicking, they laugh at us. They
Yes, they do.
literally laugh at us. They laugh at us. And you may be in your own world going, well, I look gorgeous because I look just like them. And my hair is nice and long and straight and whatever. But they're looking at you and they're smirking and going, that would never grow from your head. Who are you fooling? It's
Yeah.
not like once upon a time when white people were oblivious to how we did our hair. Because that used to be a thing. If you think about 1995, 96, 97, 98, up to about 20, yeah, 2020. That was a period of ignorance, mostly for white people when it came to black people here. Now everything's on TikTok, everything's on YouTube, everything's everywhere. So they're seeing what we are going through and doing to ourselves in the pursuit of beauty. And when you hear them look at what is the name of that model? Is it oh my gosh, that
Lupita, is it a model or an actress?
she's both. Hang on. Lu-
Lupita
Lupita
Manongo.
Nyong'o.
Oh, yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o. When you look at Lupita Nyong'o, she is not um okay, somebody's just sent me a picture of their natural hair. It's beautiful. I see it. She is like full lips, very dark. I mean,
She's a
her
beautiful
nose
girl
is a
though.
bantu nose, and she's beautiful. But many of these women would look upon her and say she black, she shine, her lip them big, her nose spread out.
No,
Because
no.
in our heads, beauty is narrow nose, thin lips, you've got to have a longish face. All of that is what they see as beauty. So we are so corrupt in our thinking that it's going to take a real revolution in terms of how we undo negative self-image, and not pass it on to our generations. And I can see the damage already happening, because while our parents would have been the generation of revolutionaries who are all about going back to Africa and all of that kind of stuff, we grow up kind of like, oh, we're not too sure if we necessarily like the idea of going back to Africa. We are embracing our Caribbeanism. And in that embracing of being Caribbean, we also embrace the fact that we are a society that's homogenous, a melting pot of different races. And within that, there is shadism that we've got to still deal with because colonialism hasn't left. It's still there.
Yeah.
And even those Pan African parents themselves had damage because they would still look at your hair and call it tough and dry. You understand? And
Yeah.
and still look at you and tell you, say you're black till you shine. So we are still dealing with that damage. Now we're dealing with loving ourselves as Caribbean and realizing that the light skinned ones are treated better than the dark skinned ones. So now we have people trying to erase their melanin, giving themselves long term skin cancer because it's
Do
now
you know?
starting to break through in medicine that there are now cases popping up because this is a problem with bleaching before. There wasn't enough evidence. And
Do
now
you
we're having evidence come through
HTK?
that
Do you know?
bleaching,
Sorry.
hmm,
Do you know that there's a
go
medication that
on.
you can take to make your skin lighter?
Yes, that's what Michael
It's a
Jackson was taking.
supplement. It's a supplement. It's an
Hmm.
anti-inflammatory supplement, a supplement, and a lot of the stars are taking it. A lot of the stars that you notice that they were a darker shade of brown that are very light
Yeah,
skin now. It's
yeah,
from it's from this medication. I'm not gonna put the name out there, but there is actually a pill that you can take, or you can get the
yeah.
IV drip of it, and it will lighten your skin over time from the inside out.
Yep, exactly. And they've been doing, they used to do it in Jamaica too. I don't know if it's been banned or made illegal, but I know that they have been taking one and it was one that was meant for an animal. I'm not going to say which either. And they were taking that for the purpose of getting lighter. You understand? And, we do these things that are so damaging to our bodies to try and assimilate a European standard of beauty, and then we try to say, to kind of gloss it over that, oh, me not disrespect na bleachers or whatever. And I'm telling you straight up, you bleach, you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. You bleach, you don't love yourself. And I am not talking about hyperpigmentation, which is a skin disorder, for which bleaching is then recommended on a medicinal basis for a specific period of time to target those areas to tone you back to your other color. Yes, that's different. I'm talking about people wanting to transform their entire look. When you look at their baby picture or their younger picture and look at them now, are two different people. But then when you see the thinning of the skin, because there is so much steroids in some of the stuff that these people are using, the thinning of the skin, yeah, that eventually cannot withstand sunshine without it turning leathery. That's why they gotta cover their hands, their arms, their neck, everything, because the melanin is fighting with the chemicals when the sun hits it. And these people are totally destroying themselves to the point where they're going to face diseases that their kidneys are not going to be able to handle. All of those things are born out of self loathing. And our people are not willing to challenge it because they don't want to offend. And when they get sick, look at Vibes Cartel. He has to reverse it now. You understand? He has to reverse it. You still there? Or have I lost you? Have I lost you? I think I've lost her. I think I've lost her. If I have lost you, you can come down and then come back. But Vibes Cartel had to actually stop the bleaching because his kidneys were about to cave in. And we need to take these things as lessons. And it's interesting because he's not talking about it. He did the coloring book thing, but he ain't talking about the fact that, the skin bleaching has probably led to a lot of his illness that he's struggling with now. Those creams are so toxic. Um, they're so toxic, dying to be so called clear skin. Yes, they're very, very toxic. And we don't know half of the stuff, the chemicals that are being used in them you know and I do strongly encourage anybody who's doing it to stop. Your natural skin is beautiful, your natural complexion is beautiful, and don't let anybody tell you guys otherwise, right? And the moment you're able to stand up on that, is the moment you know that you have broken a barrier when it comes to self-hatred. So yeah, guys, I genuinely wanted to, yeah, it looks like I've lost her. Hold on a minute. Let me just take her down because I think I've lost her on the chat. Hang on a minute. Hold on. Yeah, I have lost her. Let me make her exit, remove guest, and then you can come back, Nate. Nikki, you can come back later if you can, or anybody else who wants to join, right? But we really do need to start to think, women, that listen, as black women, we come in different shapes, sizes, and even shades. Because when I tell you that there are some African women who are extremely light skinned, especially when you look at South Africa, there are several. There's like the tribes there. You have some that are very fair, but you also have some that are very dark. Same in Nigeria, you have some Nigerians that are very fair and some Nigerians that are very dark. We come in all kind of hues, right? Naturally, without using any chemicals to enhance it. Um, and it's important to embrace that and to not feel like you have to look like a white person in order to be considered to be beautiful. You don't have to look that way to be considered beautiful because you are, by choosing chemicals and stuff to alter what God has given you naturally, you are destroying yourself. You are destroying yourself. And it's only a matter of time before cancers start to creep in and all kinds of things start to go wrong with you to the point where your organs start shutting down. And it's only a matter of time before your hair is beyond repair because you now have that traction alopecia, which is irreversible unless you do hair implant surgery. And then you are forced to wear wigs for the rest of your life. I know a lady that she can't go without wigs. She literally can't. Because when I said the woman literally just have one little bumper ear in the middle of her head, one little bumper hair, and everything around it is bald from years of wearing Eurocentric looking wigs or wigs full stop. Because if you have your own afro, you don't have to wear afro wig. You understand? I can understand you going through a process where you're growing your own natural hair. Access to the scalp is so important. Being able to wash your hair from the scalp is so important. You understand? You cannot have on this wig and I wear it day in, day out, day in. Some women may know so when them lay them wig, them not take it off for days. For days. Just imagine you are having those chemicals absorbing into your skin for days. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. We really have to rethink these things. Um, Let me see this. It's a chemical that's licensed for vitiligo. I'm not going to say the name. Oh, yes, yes. I know what you're talking about, Pottinger Naturals. I know what you're talking about. So when I had this discussion, I said to myself, no man, what is the real reason? Why do we do it? Why do we do that? The Nikki brought up the fact that there are some um men who do not allow you to love yourself because they try to make you into this dolly type because that is what they've also been raised to accept as a beauty standard, right? And if you don't look like dolly, them no want you. Those are not the kind of man for you to have. If your man feels that you have to look fake, look like another race in order to be considered beautiful, that man does not love you for who you are. He doesn't love you for your natural black skin or your natural black features. He does not love you for your natural self. And it's something that women need to stand 10 toes down on because then once we raise the bar and the standards in terms of what's expected from us, these men will have to either conform or bounce. And trust me, at that point, you're more than entitled to fish wider and have, as you know, different races who will see you as beautiful. And black men will then realize what they're missing out on. You understand? But because we have to fold and we have accepted some of the things that black men have thrown at us and say, okay, well, I want you to wear this hair and I want you to change the color of your eyes. I want you to look this way so that I can get a buzz and I can get turned on. Then you end up not being able to be your own natural self and resenting women who are actually empowered enough to do exactly that. Because that is the next thing that I see happen. When they see a woman in a royal state as God made her, without any kind of frivolities, or if it's any, and I'm not saying she can't use accessories, but it's nothing much, yeah, who is able to rock her natural hair or show her natural self without no what of foolishness, it burn them to the core because they've lost themselves or they've allowed others to take themselves away. Reclaim yourself, reclaim your identity, reclaim your own sense of natural beauty, women. That is all I'm going to say to you. Okay? And be very proud of who you are when you take off that wig and you take off them lashes and you take off that makeup. You should be able to stand in that mirror and look at yourself and say that I have loved myself well and I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And not have to measure up to the standards of beauty that Western society have indoctrinated some of our colonized brothers and sisters into accepting, which is not good enough. You understand? Anyway, people, thank you so much. I didn't expect that many of you to be on this live. I thought this was going to be a nice little intimate and quiet live with my graduates. You understand? I know a young Negro sister married to a Caucasian man who does not know what her short hair looks like under the wigs, regularly at hairdressers. Boy, so how am I gonna manage with That's crazy. We need to teach our kids to love themselves naturally. Yes, let's start with that. They will have more self esteem. Absolutely. And when your children see you loving yourself too, they will see that it is a natural thing for us to do. It's crazy how people don't understand that they are slowly unaliving themselves using bleaching. It's a mad thing. A woody for people don't realize it, right? That man is also self-loathing. Yes, he is also self-loathing. Any man that makes you feel that way is self-loathing. FDA has recently started banning harsh chemicals in products. Yeah, and you know that our products, let me tell you something. One of the things that our products, one thing with our products is that it's the most under researched products because they don't really care what happens to us. You don't realize it's just the other day them unearthed that so many African and African Caribbean products and Black American products have led to women having fibroids. Yes, that a common element in so many of them. I can't remember the name of the chemical has led to women having birth defects and problems having with fertility. And it's almost as though it's a purposeful thing. I mean, I'm gonna say nothing more because I mean, I want YouTube flag me for no kind of conspiracy theories or whatever misinformation. But I do know that this is one of the things that was researched and found it to be true. And it's not in white women's products, it's in ours. It's in ours. And the black hair industry is one of the most it's one of the most lucrative industries for China and other Asian countries because we spend so much money buying all kinds of crap to put on our hair rather than sticking to natural things as children of the earth and of the sun. And that's a whole other discussion. That's a whole other discussion, right? So that's a whole other discussion. Yes, ovarian cancer. Appreciate you, HGK. This is very informative and motivating. I'm telling you, man, do not let anybody tell you that you gotta wear all that shit. You wear it on your own choice when you feel like do a different look and do up yourself a different way, but do not be afraid 90% of the time to rock your natural roots, your natural hair, your natural self. That's how God made you, and God made you beautiful. All right. Love you guys. This is your girl, Head Teacher K. Thank you so much for joining my women's chat. Yes. And I see some men there. Big up yourself, bro Shaka. Thank you very much for joining because hello, without the men also understanding what goes on with us, we do not have our kings by our sides as support and cheer us on as we try to embrace who we truly are, right? If we do it together, it's got to be good. All right. Big up on yourself and have yourselves a good night. I'm off. See you later. Bye bye.